Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
Ready to get into it.
Ready to get into it. It's been a great week in music because something happened that we never thought we'd see the light of day happen. Kanye released Donda. He released the album, and there's a lot of talk, a lot of chat around the album. Overall, I heard the album is pretty good, but Kanye immediately followed up with a statement addressing that Universal Music released the album without permission. Not only that, but there were tracks that were withheld off of the album. So what are your thoughts on this, man? Kanye being the megastar he is, the major artist that he is, probably one of the greatest artists of all times, couldn't even release his own album without his permission. Universal released it for him. What do you think about this?
There's two sides of this. One is clearly a marketing side, if you ask me. Another side is that, hey, there's a whole deal about being independent versus being signed to a label, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're independent, you can just do whatever you want to do. You, especially these days, you don't have to like go through the gatekeepers and all that stuff. You can just put out your music online. Really don't need radio campaigns all like that. I mean, I'm sure he can still pay for them, but you don't entirely need those anymore. You can do a lot more creative stuff, like we're talking about with all these NFTs, and like he should have definitely came out with a string of NFTs. I have no idea how they missed that ball. Or he should have had his own token, like we've been talking about. But for the album, I mean, apparently there were songs on there that he wanted on there that weren't on there. Like there's just not as much creative control because you're tied into that business structure. They also want to make their capital, understandably. I mean, they're a business, so it's just what it is.
Yeah.
When you're signed to a label, you got to work with a lot of other people. Just what it is. So on the marketing side, though, I really don't even know if half of this is true. He could just be saying stuff to try and drum up extra press for it.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of it all, could I care less? No. But to teach marketing on this, like when you already have press around you, you just keep saying crazy stuff. Like, we've talked about, is it good press or bad press? In some cases, as long as he believes he's telling the truth, it could be good press. If he knows he's lying, that's bad press. But I mean, you have people who just troll for press. He could be doing that for all we know. Mm-hmm. I personally would not advise people to troll for press or like try to be or try to lie or like do anything like that.
Right.
But as far as the whole label thing goes, I think we've talked about that before, about how most artists today should probably remain independent. Unless you really, really don't like administrative tasks or something, and you just don't even want to go out of your way to find a manager to like go just do that for you, then maybe you sign on to a label. But you really don't need to today. They're going to give you a boatload of money. Sometimes not even all that much money. Sometimes the terms are not favorable to you. Obviously, read whatever you're going to sign, but you can stay independent for many reasons. Man. I know this was supposed to be anticipated amongst all his fans and all that, so he's probably trying to capitalize on it, get more people to talk about it and all that stuff. But that's what I'm gathering out of all of it.
I'm with you, man. That makes sense.